Good morning. It is currently 6:13 a.m. on Wednesday, March 4th, 2015. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So I'll start off with creativity accountability. I did about 50 minutes uh, of editing yesterday. It would have been a little bit more than that, except I also had a 2-hour practice with the all-female improv team that we're kind of sort of trying out. So that's, I think, maybe a double dose. It's only 50 minutes towards the writing project, but, I'm also doing the other activity too, not just, TV or video games or something. But even still, that 50 minutes was kind of hard won because I know I had a temptation to want to come home and maybe watch an episode, watch The Walking Dead or Better Call Saul or something before the practice instead of writing, but I did do the writing instead. Anyway, though, so the other thing I wanted to talk about today is I've kind of gotten back into audiobooks, but that's not really the subject. It just leads me there. One of the books that I decided to get recently was Titan by John Varley, which is the first book in a trilogy, Titan, Wizard, Demon, sometimes referred to as the Gaia trilogy, I think. And I'm really enjoying it. I'd read it before, but a long time ago, like back in college. John Varley, incidentally, is also responsible for one of my all-time favorite books, Steel Beach. Perhaps I will talk more another day about why that's one of my all-time favorites. But one of the things that it's reminding me of is that I feel like the subgenre of sci-fi where you have brave explorers discover some huge, inexplicable alien thing, and just that's the story. Like Rendezvous with Rama, Titan is an example of that. Another would be the Ringworld series by Larry Niven. I've always enjoyed that subgenre, but I feel like you don't see it anymore. And I'm not sure why that is, and who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just not seeing the ones that are still coming out and like that. But I mean, I think part of what made me enjoy Wool so much, I mean, it has its own merits too, of course, but that part of that, even though it was not an alien structure for the people in it, it was alien for us, just in the sense of, what is this weird structure where they live? Why is it like that? And so that sort of aspect of it, I think part of it scratched that itch. And I always have really enjoyed that type of story. I feel like it sort of broadens my mind, and it appeals to both the mystery solving and the exploration instinct, the idea of discovering that the world is even bigger than you thought. That aspect, I enjoy all of those things. And it's not to say that's the only kind of story I ever want there to be. I just sort of feel like I used to find those frequently, and I don't think I do anymore. And I certainly haven't really seen stories like that reflected in any of the, we've got sci-fi movies and TV out the wazoo now, which is great, and I'm not complaining, but I'm also a little surprised that I don't feel like we've really had any examples of this kind of story in that format. We've heard about, people have been trying to get a Rendezvous with Rama movie made for years, but it hasn't gone anywhere. So I guess this is me asking the question to anyone watching. Am I just missing all the examples of that type of story still being made today, or is that kind of a subgenre that's disappearing? And if so, why? I mean, certainly as times change, styles of science fiction and any kind of culture have obviously changed, but is this story outlived its usefulness? what about our modern society might be leading to a decreased popularity of this type of story. Or maybe that was a trend that has passed and it's now time for a story like that to make its comeback. Who knows? Anyway, so that's 5 minutes, but I think what I wanted to do again tomorrow is another classic comic review from my collection. So I'm going to now roll over there and try to pick one at random out of the stack, and we'll see what it is. So pardon me one moment while I select a comic. You know, I grabbed one, but it's another Spider-Man comic, so I think I'm gonna try for another something else, just for variety's sake. Oof. I think part of the concern there, though, is that I have a lot of Spider-Man comics. Case in point, the next 3 that I grabbed are also all Spider-Man. Okay, here we go. Here's another. Yikes. Wow, I am having difficulty maneuvering my chair today. I just broke a nail. So, what I'm discovering is that I have a lot of Spider-Man in there, or at least by my random selection. I do. At some point, maybe I'll actually sort through them and figure out what exactly I've got. I don't really remember. I've got a lot of Spider-Man, I know, but I think a bunch of Superman and maybe X-Men too, among other things. But what I grabbed now, though, is Superman versus Aliens, as in from the movie Alien and Aliens. I think this is a series, and I got book. Oh, so this is book 3 of the series. I think it's the conclusion. So I don't know. I think I'll maybe just start with this one and see how it feels to read it out of context and not read the other 2 first. Maybe I'll go back to those, but I want to get my first impression just picking this one up out of nowhere, because it's also true that I think with comics, a lot of people get intimidated about starting something in the middle, but I think some comics have such a long continuity that you really don't always have a good starting point. Sometimes you have to just jump in with both feet. Anyway, though, this is a story that I actually read a long time ago, so I will read it and I will review it for you all tomorrow. So remember, you can find all my stuff at christianaellis.com, and I will talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.